Steve, my good man, how the devil are you?
I'm not bad, buddy. I'm not too bad. How are you?
I'm very good, my friend. I'm very good. We are recording over a distance again, Steve. It's not like either one of us is actually away from Norfolk. We could probably wave at each other out of the windows from here, but you have the infection in the house right now.
Yes, it's here. It has landed. Not for me, I might add, but the other three are all infected. So we're being very responsible, taking the necessary precautions. And you're, just round the corner.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But yes, like you say, sensible and taking precautions, Steve.
Yes, yeah. So we've had some, technical issues tonight. Getting everything set up again, because it's been a long time since we've recorded via Skype, so...
Yeah, it has. It was a little while just trying to find everything again and make sure everything was still working, which it turns out it wasn't.
No, not at all. So, yeah, we've muddled through it. Dedication to bring you guys your favourite podcast. So.
I'm not sure we can claim to be anyone's favourite podcast, Steve. I'm really not sure.
It's all the same. It's all good. But you got papped. You got celebrity papped while you were out.
Yeah, so this was a bit embarrassing, Steve. I had a bit of a moment. I was in Wetherspoons, the classiest of establishments, and I was there with one of my friend's cousins, at the bar with one of my friend's cousins. We were just ordering around. And as I'd walked up to the bar, I saw this group of 5 or 6 lads all look at me and make eye contact with me, and they all looked away all of a sudden in that way that you do when you're talking about someone. And I just, being the fucking arrogant cunt I am, I was just like, oh, someone's checking me out. One of them boys fancies me, and I just carried on as normal, thinking everything's fine. And then I heard one of them go, they was just next to us and talking amongst themselves. And I heard one of them going, I think that guy's Tim. He does that podcast with Steve. And at this point, I was like, oh my God, someone has just celebrity spotted me. And I was feeling all like my feathers are bristling, Steve. I was getting all excited about it. And in my head, I went, fuck, I'm glad my mate's cousin is here. There's someone is about to witness this. I was like, oh, this is going to be a golden moment. It's going to be great. So this guy comes out of the group and he taps me on the shoulder. And I was like, play it cool. Play it cool. So I turned around really slow and I was like, all right, mate. And he went, are you Tim? I was like, yeah, I'm Tim. He's like, do you do, Steve Moore? I was like, yeah, I know Steve. He's like, do you do a podcast with Steve? And I was like, yes, mate. Are you a listener? And he just went, nah, not really. I just work with Steve. I was like, oh. And I had this moment where I was so, because I'd been so like, oh, this is great. I've just been spotted. This guy is about to come and talk to me. I've got a friend here to witness it. Oh my God, best day of my life. And then, I just work with Steve. I was like, oh. Although he did inform me, Steve, that you are forcing the podcast upon people that you work with. They are forced to listen to it.
Pretty much, yeah. Willingly or not willingly.
Shameless as well. You're not even going to defend yourself. You're just like, yep, that's 100% what's happening. They're just, yes, they have to listen. Get over it.
I'm not going to hide it at all. I'm just like, yeah, do you like bikes? Do you watch motorbike racing? Do you like the MotoGP? You do. Ah, right.
Yeah, so that was my night anyway. And then I was already pretty slaughtered by that point. I'd already had to pace myself, and for I don't know how many rounds deep we were at this point, but for 2 rounds in a row, Steve, I had to say no to beer and get Cokes instead, because I was like, I need to slow it a little here.
Damn, you must have been on one.
Yeah, it was fine. It was a fun night, really. But it's just not a heavy night like out clubbing and stuff. Ain't really for me anymore, man. I'm just not feeling it.
No, mate, I hit that window past a long time ago. I hung up my dancing shoes.
My shoes have never been dancing shoes, Steve. I just always, I don't know, I quite like going out drinking, and I hadn't been out clubbing in a while, and it was a friend's birthday, so I was like, let's go for it. Nah, it was fine. It was a fun night. I'm glad I went, but clubbing ain't really my scene anymore. I like a pub now. I'm happy with a pub.
I'm happy with a pub.
Anyway, Steve, that's enough of my weekend, and enough of our weekends, actually, Steve, because, oh my God, my friend, in fucking 3 days from recording, we are going to see bikes on track for the start of the 2022 season, Steve.
Mate, it's amazing. I cannot wait. The days have been rocketing by at work. They've not been great at work, but that's been even better because it's made the days go really quick.
Yeah.
However quick the days go, I'm happy. You know, it's Wednesday tomorrow, which means there's one day in between then and racing or bikes on track.
Yeah.
I can't wait. It's so good. There's a few guys at work getting hyped up, a little bit spurred on by myself, I must say.
I can't imagine you spurring anyone on, Steve.
No, not. I'm like you work drug pusher without the drugs.
That's what you say anyway. If anyone at work is listening, it's definitely without the drugs.
It's definitely without the drugs. Anywho, but yes, mate, this weekend it's felt like this has come round so quick.
Yes, it really has. It's kind of after. It feels like it was not that long ago. You and I were like, "Oh, it's 40 days till the racing starts again. That's going to come around quick," and it really fucking has. It's whoom.
It has rocketed up. I'm really happy. I'm really excited. There's a lot to be looking forward to this year.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much stuff going on. I just can't wait. I just want it to be Friday. The most annoying thing is I've got to work Friday, Saturday. So I'm going to miss like free practice, qualifying, and then Sunday. It's all good. We've got Sunday. So
I will not be working over the weekend, so I'll just text you all the updates as it goes, Steve.
Just keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
It's constant. I want just constant
Maybe I'll
updates.
just phone you all day and just put my phone next to the TV so you can just hear it all day.
I will probably have BT Sport on my phone at work.
Oh yeah, that's probably.
I'm not going to lie.
This convoluted way of doing it that I'd come up with.
Yeah, do it as well. Do it as well. Yeah, I'm not. I don't hide it. I'm shameless. I'll be sat somewhere at work, just on my phone. I'm like, what are you doing? Research.
Yeah, I'm just googling how to build this boat.
Yeah. What's that noise? Nothing.
That's the sound of the tools they're using in this how to build a boat video I'm watching. So leave me alone, please.
Yeah, disappear. Listen. Yeah. But yes, mate. It's finally here. Very hyped. Very excited. Can't wait. Yeah. Finally.
Yeah. Exactly. That's it. So, Steve, shall we dive into the show?
Let's go straight for it, buddy.
Good stuff. So, I'm Tim. He's Steve, and this is for the love of MotoGP. Now, if you're new to MotoGP, guys, don't forget to check out our Introduction to MotoGP show. It will tell you everything you need to know to start enjoying the sport we all love. It's aimed at beginners, so it's aimed at people with no prior knowledge of the sport. We go through the teams, the riders, the bikes, the manufacturers, the storylines, the scoring system. We even talked a little bit about the flags, but just ignore everything I said about the flags, because it turns out I don't know anything about the flags. So apart from that bit, the show is great. Okay, so just if you need to know what's going on in the MotoGP world, go back, listen to that. Just ignore the shit about the flags.
Yeah, what he said. I was going to try and jazz it up, but then I was like, no, I can't do any better.
We'll just go with ignore the shit about the flags. That works fine for everyone.
Yeah, make it up as you go along.
So there's no correction corner this week, Steve, which is unusual. But for some reason, I think everyone's having a week off. We're going to come piling in next week, I'm sure.
Oh, mate, it's going to be full. Absolutely full.
So it's the news first then, my friend. And I think, Steve, this is probably going to be a bit of a shorter show this week. There's not been a huge amount of news. I've got kind of 4 bits of news here to talk about, and then we preview the Qatar race, and then that's pretty much the end of the show. So, you know, it's going to be a shorter one this week. And I know we've said that a lot in the last few weeks, and they've always been really, really long. And my apologies to everyone who likes a shorter show. But this one should be a shorter show. Plus, Steve and I aren't in the same room, which means we often don't bounce off each other quite as much for just normal conversation.
No, we've got to get used to the Skype thing again, because it's definitely 100% easier to record in person, because we can read each other better. I can tell when you're going to talk. You can tell when I'm going to talk. Whereas on this, it's very often the case of, no, you go. Yeah, it's like when you've just got a new girlfriend and you try to hang up the phone. It's like, no, you say goodbye. No, you hang up. You have no clue.
I'm very much the hang up person there. I'm like, yeah, okay, bye.
Yeah, I always was as well. She was like, no, you hang up. All right, bang. Gone.
Yeah. It's just easier. Just teenage relationships, a lot of hassle. I'm glad I don't have to put myself through that bullshit again.
Yeah, it's joys of getting older.
The news then, Steve.
Yes, buddy.
Let's start at the top here. This is something that you and I discussed last week. We said this was heavily rumoured. This was all but guaranteed to happen. And I think you joked and you went, you know what, Tim, in a few hours after you started it in the show, the news will come out. And before the show had even been actually released, Steve, it became official that Livio Suppo has joined Suzuki as the new team boss.
He has, mate, and a damn good signing for them as well.
A great signing for them, certainly. And, great for him. Just another very good, well-paying job, I imagine.
Yes, yeah, happy days for him.
Quite.
So, good signing. I'm really interested to see how he's going to push this because we know that team's already very, very good. Obviously they did suffer a bit with Davide left. That became quite apparent. That weird kind of job share just didn't work.
Yes, certainly.
Someone with his pedigree is really going to be good for that team. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see some success out of it this year.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, you only have to look back at what he's done in the past, don't you? Championships, multiple championships with Honda, championships with Ducati. This guy knows how to run a team. And if a team is well-resourced and can put together a good package, he will get the most out of that across the board. So, yeah, I think Suzuki have done a very good thing signing him.
Absolutely. Yeah, can't agree. Can't disagree.
Can't agree, Tim. Actually, do you know what, Tim? You're chatting shit, not putting up with it. Cannot agree with you today.
No, definitely not.
I kind of hope. I don't know what the opinions of Alex Rins and Johan Mir are about this, but I sort of assume that they're going to be pretty stoked for this as well, because I think they were both very much missing Davide Brivio, weren't they, after his departure at the end of 2020?
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to be pretty damn happy to have someone back on board, someone dedicated to running the team, because they definitely suffered.
Yes.
I'm not saying all of their dismay was down to Davide's exit, but certainly it had an impact on that team. And just having a sole person to concentrate on managing that team, running that team, it's just going to take away all that extra pressure from everyone else that had a little bit more dropped on them, and just allow them to concentrate on what their key role is. So even if it just adds to that as a bonus straight away. So, for team management, I think it's a very, very good move. So,
yeah, certainly. I think it's 10 out of 10 for all involved, and it's just a bit surprising it didn't happen last year. But, you say, they had a management structure in place. They tried that, it didn't work. And rather than just sticking with that, they went, yeah, all right, let's try something else here.
Yeah, it's good that they can, sort of look at it and think, actually, this is a bit shit. Let's change this. Let's get someone with some clout in. And I'm sure the two riders were like, yeah, absolutely, come on. We need to do something here. So I'm sure they're going to be absolutely just as stoked as everyone else to have them there. Really am. And hopefully he can stop Rins becoming a Bins.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, if Rins can actually perform this season, you'd expect, if Rins has a really good first half of the year and spikes, a couple of not even a couple of podiums, but he's always at the pointy end, is staying on the bike. You could see him getting another 2-year deal out of this.
Yeah.
It's only if he doesn't start, if he keeps crashing it at the start of the year, things aren't going to plan, and even when he is finishing, he's not finishing well, then he's out the door, isn't he? So hopefully Livio Suppo, because I really like Alex Rins, so let's hope Livio Suppo can just give him that stay on the fucking bike, you idiot, that he needs, and hopefully we can see him probably not challenging for a title. My aspirational dreams for Alex Rins to be fighting for a title are sort of gone now, but at least being quick and regularly quick.
Yeah, that's what I'd like as well. Just stop crashing. God's sake, stop crashing.
On to the next news item then, Steve. And we're moving away from Suzuki and towards Yamaha for this one, because this is the 3-time Yamaha 500cc Grand Prix champion Wayne Rainey is finally returning to a Grand Prix bike, Steve.
Yes, yeah, I'm really interested in this. I think it's going to be a really great move. Really interested to see how he does.
Certainly, and obviously he's not racing or anything. This isn't anything too exciting. But Wayne Rainey is going to be back on a Grand Prix racing bike for the first time since 1993, when he had that career-ending injury. He will be riding a specially adapted Yamaha Grand Prix machine at the Goodwood Festival of Speed this summer. The event is taking place from the 23rd to the 26th of June. So if anyone's in and around the UK, it will certainly be worth going to see. Well, it's always worth going to Goodwood anyway. But
Goodwood is amazing.
Yeah, for Wayne Rainey there, it will be even more special. But he's not only going to be riding any old machine, Steve.
No.
He's going to be aboard his 1992 Yamaha YZR 500. This is the bike that he won the 92 championship on, and Yamaha themselves have specially adapted this machine for Wayne Rainey. I guess we should have prefaced this with, if anyone doesn't know who Wayne Rainey is, he was the three-time 500cc champ, had a horrendous injury at Misano when it was run the opposite way around, severed his spinal cord, and was paralysed from the moment he hit that air fence. Or it probably wasn't even an air fence at the time, actually. But from the moment that crash happened, he was paralysed, career was over. And yeah, he's ridden a motorcycle in more recent years. I think it was 2019. He rode an R1, a Yamaha R1.
Yep.
And this is just his second time back on a motorcycle since 1993, which is just crazy for one of the greatest. Three-time world champion. Obviously, epic battles with Kevin Schwantz.
Absolutely, mate. It must feel good for him as well. Natural-born racer, champion, to have your career cut short like that through a crash.
Certainly. Yeah, and when you're at the top, like he was on his way to winning the fourth title at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Just snatched away from you like that. That desire is still going to be there, going to burn down. In the back of his mind, he must sometimes be thinking, fuck, what if? What's happening? So to get back on it and have, technology's moving on, it'll probably be completely different from the last time he rode that R1. Hell of a bike to jump on. 1992 winning 500 two-stroke. Jesus, what a machine.
Exactly.
I was thinking about it just now. I was like, God, I hope they've toned it down just a little bit to make it safer. And I bet he's like, fuck no, turn it up.
Yeah.
Just give me some speed.
Yeah, it's a scary thing, because that's the kind of machine, mate, that I'm like, nah, I don't. I mean, if you gave me one and it was running and they were like, take a spin, I'd be like, yeah, all right, fair enough. But I wouldn't be queuing up for it. Like, I don't think I'd be queuing up and spending any time trying to get onto one of these two-stroke 500s, mate. Not a chance.
I'd have a go at my own kind of like poodling little pace.
Yeah, exactly.
But to think we probably wouldn't get here within, I would guess we wouldn't use 20% of its capacity.
Not a chance, mate. If I use 20% of it, it's flipping me over the back and it's just spiralling down the track.
He's going to hop on it and probably use whatever he can. He's going to give it some beans. It's got to feel good for him. I'm really, really happy he's getting this opportunity.
Yes, exactly. And I won't be able to go to Goodwood this year, but I will certainly be keeping an eye out for this event taking place, because this is going to be great.
Yeah, I can't go either, but I will certainly do all I can to watch it, and hopefully, I'm sure he will get lots of telly time when he does this. So
there's no doubt, yeah.
I will definitely be keeping an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Giving him the long distance cheer. Go on.
Radio Steve, next news item then.
Yes, buddy.
Let's skip to the last one, because I want to spend a little bit longer on the third one on the list there we have. But the last news item we have is just good news for our American listeners. MotoGP, and I know, I guess I say good news. I don't really know how good this news is, but I assume it's good news, because we sort of know it's very hard. Well, we don't know personally, Steve, but you and I are often told by our American listeners that it can be very hard to watch the racing in the US. It's just hard unless you've got Video Pass. It's pretty unreliable of where and when you can be watching it. Yeah.
I think we know, like you said, we've spoken to some people around the world, and it's definitely harder to get hold of out of the UK. we know it's really, really difficult to get hold of in New Zealand, for instance, using that. America, it's been quite hard for these guys to get hold of it. So just to have it televised where you are, bonus.
Yeah, that's it. So it's going to be televised on NBC and CNBC this year. I think this is sort of the setup it's had for the last 3 or 4 years. But there's going to be 5 rounds that are going to be on NBC. So that's going to be the free to everyone to watch. And the other 16 rounds are all going to be on CNBC. So I think CNBC is a paid-for channel. It comes maybe via cable. I don't really understand. I'm a bit lost to how TV works in the world. But I think it's a cable channel. I assume it's got a streaming service. And I've got no idea how much it costs. If it's going to cost a fortune, probably just worth paying for Video Pass. But if it's not going to be too bad, or it's part of your package already, happy days. This is just an easier way, I think, for people to be watching MotoGP again.
Yeah, I'll just try to look it up quickly. But no, I can't find it. I think, by the looks of it, it is free.
NBC is certainly free. I think CNBC is paid for, but I could be wrong about that. I don't know if we're wrong. There's a Croatian corner with your name on, so let us know.
Yeah, let us drop a line.
Right, Steve. The final news item then. It really is going to be a short show this week, Steve. We're tearing through everything very quickly.
This. We've still got to talk about the track yet, so hopefully we can streak that out a little bit.
And we'll streak that. If we just start talking like Ents, that might do it. Takes a long time to say anything in a dish. I won't put anyone else through another load of that.
That came down very loud right through my one earpiece.
Oh, yes, that's part of the problem tonight, Steve, is that you've only got a single headphone to try and record this show on.
Yeah, well, I did have my headset, which I've used the entire time we've been Skyping. But you said that sounded like I was in a hurricane, so...
Oh, no, Steve, I can't hear anything you're saying, mate. I was trying to take my jumper off, which I'm going to continue to do, but in the process, I knocked my headphones out.
You said jumper. You meant poncho.
Yes, it's certainly a poncho. It's not an actual jumper. It is a poncho, which I thought it was going to be easy to take off without pulling these headphones out my ears, but alas. And now one of them went under the bed and it's all dusty, which is a bit gross.
Oh, look, at least the cat didn't get it.
That's true. There's actually no cats in here. They are downstairs snuggling with Cherie at the moment.
Oh, that's all right. It's fine.
She's quite protective, really. She doesn't tend to let me spend too much time with the cats in case they bond with me more than they bond with her. But this is just the world we live in, Steve. That's fine. I'm a bit chilly now. I've taken that poncho off. I sort of want to put it back on, but I don't want to risk the headphones.
Oh, go for it. Do it. Try it. See what happens.
It's fine. Let's talk about the last bit of news, Steve. Let's dive into that.
All right.
I can always do some star jumps or something to warm up. This one, our final team launch, Steve. Finally.
Oh, why did they make us wait so long? I forgot about it.
Especially because it was a bit wank. Like, if it had been really... Like, if they'd done it on the moon or something, I'd be like, all right, fair enough. Like, that was worth waiting for. But it was just the Aprilia launch rehashed.
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically. I saw it and I was just like... yeah, exactly that. I was just a bit sort of like shocked. I expected so much more.
Yeah, me too.
I expected this is Rossi's team, so much more fanfare and ponce and just I'm here, I'm back.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought, right. But that's really not the reality.
No, but you're right. It was just the Aprilia launch rebranded for him.
A bit longer.
And a bit longer. Aprilia really nailed it.
Aprilia was one of the best launches, apart from KTM. Yeah. KTM had the best launch, without a doubt. Aprilia was probably second best.
Yeah, absolutely. This just felt strung out and just way too samey for my liking. Yeah. It was like someone had sat there, like we did, and went, that's pretty good. Let's do that.
Yeah, it is. Maybe that's why they decided to do it so late. They were like, fuck it, let's just see what everyone else does. We'll see what everyone else likes. And then we'll just do the best of everyone's. But it turned out to just be a bit shit.
It was a bit crap. The bikes, on the other hand, look pretty good. I quite like the bike.
I don't know, man. Even the bikes, I'm so torn on this one because I really want to love it. I wanted to look at it and be like, oh my God, is this not... This is like last year's Tech 3 KTM. I wanted to be like, this is the best motorcycle I've ever seen. But I looked at it and I was like, that's actually a bit crap. Like, I wasn't impressed. And then I saw it closer up and I was like, oh, do you know what? Like, the close-up shots do look pretty cool. The colour scheme is nice in the close-up shots. Those letters or the numbers on like the tail unit and stuff look pretty cool. But I felt a bit underwhelmed by everything to do with this bike, and I really hope that this isn't the start of an underwhelming season for the team.
That was exactly what I was about to say. It does feel like the whole thing that it was only because it was Rossi. There'd been so much hype put around it, you know. Yeah. And it's hard to follow that hype when you're at that level. You know, we're always going to have massive expectations of what should be. And we kind of get suckered into that easy to do notion where you come up with your own idea. I do it all the time. And you get an idea of what it should be and what it should do and like how great it's going to be. And because we set that bar so high, whatever happens, it's just a letdown.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I did my best to go into it thinking like this is going to be modest because we know like Roddy. Fuck, I can't get my words out tonight. This
is what happens when I'm not there to give you beer, Steve. You don't drink, and then you can't actually talk. You are maybe as bad as I am with the booze. You require it to get your words out.
That might be the trouble. I might have to start drinking again.
And it's just not always my influence for once, which would be nice.
Yeah. You do just bring random bottles of dead relatives' booze around here.
Yeah, I think that is the last one. I think there's a couple of bottles of wine kicking about as well, but I
know you keep that.
You don't drink any of the dead relative booze anyway. Every time I try and give it to you, you're like, no.
You have it. You never say no to having it yourself.
Oh, I mean, I will never say no. Oh, speaking of, Steve, I sold one of those empty bottles on eBay for £5. Someone paid £5 for one of those bottles.
Nice.
Yeah, so that worked out all right. I drank the vodka and got £5 for it. Win-win.
I like it. Oh dear. Not a win-win was the Mooney VR46 team launch, should we say? So I don't know.
Great segue.
I don't know. I don't know what I feel at the minute. I don't know what I feel about the bikes. The launch was just a bit, and like you say, I really just hope this doesn't set the tone for the rest of the season.
I agree because I'm a bit scared that it might be, and I don't think it will. I think they're on great bikes. They've got they've got a GP22, they've got a GP21, they've got Luca Marini, who I'm sure is going to have a much better year than he had last year. That Marco Bezzecchi has finished like top 3 in the Moto2 Championship the last couple of years in the bounce. Like they've got a good lineup. They're ready to go. So I think it's more that I feel like the launch fell flat on its face. I think the livery is not what I hoped for, but I think the season is going to be fine from a racing point of view.
Yeah, they've got a good package. So I think, hopefully they've just let us down. They're like, let's just break them in early, get the shit out of the way, and then we'll really give them some clout. I don't know. I just want to get to Qatar and I will be happy when I see them have good results.
Yes, that's fair. And I mean, Qatar's a good track for them to be going to first. It's a very Ducati-friendly track. Like, it's a good place for them to be heading.
Yeah, it's a good starting point. So, all things considered, bad launch. Let's just get to the first round, get that out of the way, and I think then my nerves will be settled.
Yeah, that's fair. I have a question for you, Steve. I know you are not anything to do with the MotoGP Fantasy League, but we'll come on to more information about that in a minute. But it's just a quick question because it's related to this VR46 team.
Yes.
Who do you think would cost more money in the MotoGP Fantasy League? Do you think it would be Luca Marini or Marco Bezzecchi?
Well, it should be Marini by rights because he's got the experience. He's been there for so long. But Bezzecchi's more expensive, isn't he?
Yes, Bezzecchi is £100,000 more expensive, or $100,000 more expensive than Marini, which I just cannot fathom. I have absolutely no idea how that's possibly occurred.
No, I think maybe someone's made a boo-boo there.
Yeah, I think it might just be a little programming glitch, so I put both of them into my team just in case they glitch me max points or something.
Maybe. You never know. I struggled with my team. I knew who I wanted, but I couldn't have them. So, but let's talk about the fantasy league a little bit later.
We'll come on to that. We will come on to that.
Yeah.
Before we do get onto that, though, Steve, we need to preview the race in Qatar.
We do. That is it for the news. It was a very short news segment this
sweet.
week because everyone's just getting ready to head off to Qatar.
Exactly. There's just no news because everyone's busy and no one's busy doing like racing. They're just busy getting to the first race. So everyone's been a bit quiet.
Yeah, social media is just flooded with like people showing passports and tickets and just starting to jet off, bags being packed. So, they're on their way. They're travelling. So, yeah, it's very quiet at the minute.
Yes, exactly. So, Steve, a word till next week, exactly, and then it's all going to be kicking off, and that's what we're all here for, though, isn't it? We're all here for the racing. So
exactly.
So let's take a quick break, Steve, and when we come back, we will preview Qatar.
Let's do it, buddy.
Okay, guys, bear with us for just one moment, and we will be right back with you. Thank you for bearing with us, guys. We are back. Steve, it is the Grand Prix of Qatar at the Lusail International Circuit in Qatar this weekend, my friend.
Finally.
Finally. I do note that the spelling of Lusail seems to have changed between last year and this year, which has confused the fuck out of me. So everywhere, last year, and last year back from there, Lusail was spelled Losail. Lusail International Circuit. For some reason, in the last year, the O has chopped its head off and become a U. So it's now Lusail International Circuit. And I thought this was a typo on the race to start with. And then I saw it on MotoGP.com. And then I saw it on motorsport.com. And it seems to... I'm not sure what's happened, but it's now Lusail and not Lusail. So if someone actually knows why this is the case, please get in touch. Was this the fact that we'd anglicised the track name anyway and just fucked it up completely, and then everyone in the English-speaking world went, "Oh shit, we've got that wrong. We should probably actually fix." No, the English-speaking world doesn't admit its mistakes, does it, Steve?
Oh hell no.
But yeah, I don't know why it's changed. So if someone does know, please do let me know.
Yeah, you're right, it has. That's strange. I never noticed. I just Googled it, and even if you put Lusail with an O, it comes up with Lusail.
Yeah, I really have no idea. So, like I say, please, if someone does know, please do get in touch. And I mean, if you don't actually know, don't worry about Googling it, because I could probably do that. I'm just being lazy.
They've changed the entire name. It is now the Lusail Circuit Sports Club.
Yeah, I sort of saw that as well on the old Googles, and I wasn't sure whether that was the name of the complex, as like a bit like Motorland Aragon is the name of the entire complex.
I think that could be. I think that could be the case. Never knew that. Anyway.
But yes, anyway, moving on. So this race at Lusail International Circuit will be featuring MotoGP, Moto2 and Moto3. No Moto E here. So just a very traditional start. I assume it's all going to be in the traditional order of things. I think it is. It's Moto3, Moto2, MotoGP all weekend.
Yeah.
Just a very basic way for the season to be restarting.
Yeah, nice and simple. We like it nice and simple, just to break us in, because the brain is going to be taken up by other things. We just want to see the bikes. We don't want any kind of funny business going on. All we want to do is watch free practice, qualifying, racing.
I mean, speak for yourself. I'm all about the funny business. Wherever it and whatever form it takes, I'm all about the funny business.
Oh, fair enough. All right.
But I'm also very keen to just see motorcycle racing again. So, you know. The circuit itself then, Steve,
Yes.
The Lusail International Circuit. This circuit is 3.34 miles or 5.4 kilometres long. It features 6 left-hand corners and 10 right-handers for a total of 16 corners. And this is a clockwise circuit. So one Marc Marquez has not got his normal advantage levels that he would take in some left-handed tracks.
No. Yeah, I'm sure if they were to anti-clockwise it, he would love it.
Oh, 100%. There's no doubt in my mind.
No.
This circuit is 12 metres wide, so one of not the widest, but also kind of in the middle, really, when it comes to width. But there's a lot of lines around it, I think.
There is a lot of lines, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not a thin little wispy circuit.
It's not like Valencia, is it? It's not like a little go-kart track. Like, this is a big, wide circuit.
This is a proper meaning business circuit.
The longest straight is just over a kilometre at 1,068 metres. And there's quite a lot of hard-braking point-and-shoot sections of this track. There's also some quite fast corners as well. So it's quite balanced, but it's a track that generally... We all think on paper as it favours Ducatis, but I think if you look at the win records, the Yamahas have done very well here historically as well.
Yeah, it's not like it's one of those circuits where you think, like, say, it would just benefit one specific type of machine, but it doesn't. That it encompasses so much more.
Yeah,
but that's great for us because it just means there's so much more involved. You know, if it was just an asymmetric track that just said right Ducati all day long.
Yeah.
Boring. This thing really opens up the potential for all the more than one or two manufacturers to be at the pointy end. Which is good. We like that.
Yes, certainly. That's exactly it. So the track first appeared on the calendar in 2004, Steve. That race was won by one Sete Gibernau. So that's going back a while now in the history of MotoGP. So it's only been a circuit for MotoGP, actually. It would never have seen 500cc bikes at all.
Nope.
In 2007, the track became the opening race on the MotoGP calendar, where it has remained, I believe, for every year except 2020, which it sort of was the opening race, but not really, because MotoGP didn't race there.
No, that's weird one. That COVID weird year.
Yeah, and funny to think, though, Steve, isn't it, that we thought the COVID year was bad. We're staring World War III in the face right now. So, maybe COVID was the good times. Who knows?
It might have been. Might have been having a party back then compared to what could come.
You sound like a Tory politician now, my friend.
Do I?
Yeah, I mean, just having parties during COVID. That was my topical joke for the day.
Took me a while to work that one out.
Yeah, sorry. This is the thing. I feel like in person these jokes make more sense because we spend a little while ranting about these things before we start recording, so we're both on the same page.
Yeah, that is true. But there's not a lot of chit-chat when we record over Skype beforehand. So
no, it's not quite the same. Normally it's just you and I will sit and shoot the shit for an hour before we start recording, but with Skype it feels pressured. You're like, we haven't got an hour, we just need to get this done.
Yeah, it's like a business meeting. Normally we don't start recording until now. It's exactly. 9:30 at night. We've been just chatting away, had a beer, just like, how are you? Yeah, I'm good. What about this? What about that? Now it's like, right, business meeting. Come on.
Yeah, I even put my shirt on today, Steve, under my poncho. So,
you have.
I haven't quite committed to the tie look today, but it's close.
You're getting there.
Thank you. I'm not actually wearing a shirt, just for anyone else's reference there. When was the last time I wore a shirt, Steve? A wedding years ago, I think. A proper shirt. Oh, I have got a shirt that I wear over t-shirts just because I think it looks cool, but that's fine. Anyway, Lusail. 2007, as we say, became the first race on the MotoGP calendar, where it still holds that place today. And in 2008, it became the first circuit to host a MotoGP night race.
Yes, and oh my God, I love the fact it's under the lights.
It looks pretty incredible.
It does. It just adds that little bit of panache that we love. The shadows, the bikes look incredible. I just like it. The riders hate it, apparently, because of the shadows. It throws up under you.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. But then the thing is, those shadows have got better and better, or less and less, I suppose, every single year as the light technology has come on.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, I'm sure it costs an absolute fortune to light the circuit up because it's lit up like a football stadium. It's properly floodlit.
Yeah, it is a beacon in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite incredible. Like the effort that goes into that, and the amount of light bulbs. I think it's all LEDs as well, which means it's obviously even more light bulbs. But yeah, it's quite incredible, and it just looks fantastic on the TV.
It does, yeah. You see the shots, the little stills of it all lit up. You just, oh my god, that looks good.
Yeah, definitely.
It's nice. I love it.
And the whole story, like this track only took a year to build from pretty much from starting to hosting a race a year, boom, and it's done, which is absolutely incredible. Especially when you consider where it is, man. Like it's in the desert. This isn't a good environment to build a race. It's not a good environment to build anything, let alone a racetrack. But they fucking nailed it here, man. There's artificial grass all the way around the circuit that helps prevent sand coming onto the track. It stops the progression of the desert. We all know deserts come and just march forwards, slowly forwards, taking land as they do. But they've built this track in such a way that the desert cannot encroach on it too far. So it still gets sandy, it still gets dusty, especially with once we've seen it in storms and stuff. But it's just a testament to the skill of the people that built it, the speed in which it was built. It's just an incredible place, man.
Yeah, absolutely. You can just imagine someone getting the contract. You know, the first person that's got to go there was just like, "Where are we going?" Getting handed the reference on the map and be like, "You nuts!"
Yeah.
You know what they've done, like you say. Someone sat down and thought about this. It's not like they just hashed it together. Someone really put some time and effort into thinking about this. Like you say, artificial grass just to stop the sand, in the desert actually reclaiming this track. Someone's really, really given this a lot of thought, and I'm bloody glad they did.
Yeah, without a doubt. And we've been saying it's in the middle of nowhere. I think it's actually about 30 kilometres away from Doha, which is the capital city of Qatar. So, it's not in the middle of nowhere, but in the grand scheme of tough environments, like, it's in a harsh place.
Yeah, it's not the easiest place to build a racetrack, but they've certainly done an absolute standout job.
It's true. And it probably helps because they have all the money in the world over there, to be fair. So that helps too.
Yeah, someone's like, where should we put this? Oh, let's make this a challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone involved is like, for fuck's sake.
They're like, oh, really? Really? And someone just flashes the cash. You're like, yeah, all right. Okay, yeah, that's fair. I'll do it.
Yes, let's go.
Most wins at the track then, Steve, and this makes for some interesting reading. The most wins at the track, the top two riders are joint in the number one spot with 4 wins apiece. They are one Valentino Rossi and one Casey Stoner. Third place overall, or sort of second place overall, I guess, with 3 wins, is one Jorge Lorenzo. Which is wonderful, because the top 3 winningest riders at this track are no longer in the sport.
Exactly. Bring in the new blood.
So who else has won here? I think I'm doing this off my head now. I haven't got this written down. Marquez.
Yep.
Vinales.
Yep.
Quartararo.
Yep.
Dovizioso.
I believe so.
I think that might be it.
I think that could be it. I think that could be the lot. Yeah,
I think
that's
it.
Is the lot.
Could be wrong. Should have looked this up. But it means that, Dovi's ain't going to be winning this race come Sunday. Vinales probably ain't going to be winning this race come Sunday.
No. If something magical happens, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Quartararo's probably got a chance, to be fair.
He's in with a shout.
Who was the 4th rider? And Marc Marquez. That's a tough one. Maybe Marquez has a shout, but he's not super comfortable around Qatar. I'm going to say Marquez doesn't really have a shot either. So of the previous winners here, the only one we can really talk about as a legitimate threat for this win is Quartararo. But it just really depends on how the Ducatis have done. But we'll come on to predictions in a minute anyway.
Yes, let's talk about those in a bit.
Exactly. The outright lap record for this circuit then, Steve, is a 1 minute 52.772. That's also the pole lap record. And they both come from Pecco Bagnaia, both set in 2021. Obviously, they're the same lap. The race lap record, also set in 2021, also by Francesco Bagnaia. It's a 1:54.491. So, what are we looking at? Not even 2 seconds, 1.5, 1.6 seconds difference between the two, which is not the largest gulf, but it's also not the smallest between race lap records and qualifying laps.
Yeah. about your average gap. He had a good year last year.
Yeah, he did.
enjoyed
I
Qatar.
suspect, to be fair, as we go through these shows, these preview shows, as the year goes on, Steve, we're probably going to be saying on quite a few occasions. And Pecco Bagnaia in 2021 set the fastest pole lap and fastest race lap. I think we're going to be shouting those words a lot this year.
Yes, I completely agree.
Top speed on the circuit then, Steve, goes to one Johann Zarco, also set in 2021. You can tell which manufacturer was fast around this circuit in 2021.
Yep.
And he did an eye-watering 362.4 kilometers per hour. For you and I, Steve, that's 225.1 miles an hour.
That's quick.
That's fucking rapid, mate.
That is getting a shift on. I'd be up the shop in a second. That is nice.
That's just madness, mate. It's just, we're not designed to go that fast.
No, we're not. We're designed to maybe hit 20 mile an hour if you're quick running.
But I mean, if you're a good sprinter, yeah, most of us are designed to put along at 4.
Yeah, about that. Just amble, shuffle. That's fast. That is insanely fast. And it's not even, I know it's a flowing track, it's a very fast track anyway, but it's not the longest straight. You're coming out of that last corner with a fair lick, but there's faster circuits.
There's faster circuits, but the last straight is a kilometre, like it's a decent length.
It's a good length, but it's not the longest. So
it's certainly not the longest, and it's certainly not the fastest entry onto the finals, that longest straight either, which, that makes a huge difference when you're somewhere like Silverstone, for example, where it's just really fast all the time.
That's it. Just pin it, keep that throttle open, and just build your speed.
Yeah, exactly.
Aye.
Last year's podium then, Steve. This is interesting. It's interesting because I've just realised I was a fucking idiot when I was getting last year's podium up. So I'm gonna try and talk and fill some dead air for a minute while my computer does its thing, but annoyingly, because I'm on Skype, it's even slower than usual.
It does take a wee while.
Yeah, it does. But there was 2 races here last year, Steve. There was the Qatar race, which was the first race of the year. And then came the Doha race, which was the second race of the year. I'm trying to slow my talking so that this will actually load, but it's taken its time.
It is taking... Right, so the first race was won by Mr. Maverick Vinales.
It was indeed won by one Mr. Maverick Vinales.
It was. And I can't bring up who got second place or third place.
Oh, no, I really thought you were just about to list them all off for me then, Steve. I was about to be very, very impressed.
No, Wikipedia has gone, no, you can just have the first place finisher for MotoGP, Moto2 and Moto3, which is rather annoying.
So the good news is I do have the classifications here now.
You've got it? Nice.
I do have it. I'm also a little bit upset that the MotoGP new results page, the MotoGP.com results page, which I've already spouted off my hatred for. They've tried to make it look flashy, and now it's a bit shit. I liked it a lot before when it just looked very plain and simple. And they've tried to make it look very flashy this time, Steve, by updating all of the images and all of the teams for people. So I look at this from 2021... Qatar, first race of the year, and it says to me that the winner was one Maverick Vinales in an Aprilia, or on an Aprilia, who won the race.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. I don't like it.
That's a bit shit. I'm not impressed with this. I'm going to send an angry letter to my MP. That's what I'm going to do, Steve.
You do that? I'll just email Donna.
That's probably a better move, isn't it? There's me just like bashing out an email to Duncan Baker.
Duncan Baker, who? What's this MotoGP thing?
There he is, all ratty, just looking at. No, I'm going to stop now because I might pipe into him at some point. So last year's winners, Steve, for round 1 of the 2 Qatar rounds. Maverick Vinales won the race. Johann Zarco was second. Pecco Bagnaia finished third.
Yes.
The second race at Doha was a Quartararo win, a Zarco second, and a Jorge Martin third. So Yamaha took the 2 top spots, and Ducati filled the rest of the positions from there.
Aye.
So it's, I don't know. Can I see Morbidelli going out and winning this race?
No.
Probably not. Can I maybe see Quartararo doing it? Yeah, I probably can.
Yeah, I think he could. He's in with a good shout.
So, yeah. But there's so many more Ducatis that can take it as well, isn't there?
Oh, God, yeah.
Out of all of them, Zarco could potentially win. Martin could win. Miller could win. There's a lot of people that can win this race.
And
last year's podium doesn't really help us too much for that.
No. I'm not going to rely on too much the results of last year because so much has changed this year. We've seen some big manufacturer changes, some big machinery changes. It's going to be a tough one to call. So I think most races, I'm just going to go with gut instinct.
That's fair. That's just how you're going to do your entire season's predictions, is it? You're going to not analyse anything. We're just going to go gut instinct, go with our guts, hope for the best, see what happens.
Yeah, my predictions have been very off in the past. So this year I am just going to go with what the inner Steve is thinking.
To be fair, Steve, your predictions when it comes to actually when you and I are chatting shit on the show and doing our predictions, your predictions have been pretty on point. You just don't translate that into the correct Fantasy League predictions.
No, that's because I thought I'd be clever, and then pre-season I look at it and just kind of analyse who's done okay the previous year, which is then nothing like what is currently happening. So by the time I can sort my team out, it's 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds in, and everyone else has torn a massive league like Craigan's did last year, and then I'm just playing catch up.
Good news for you though this year, Steve, is that between every round you can swap out 2 riders rather than just 1.
Thank God for that.
So if you do make a huge error early on, you can recover it pretty quickly.
Yes, yeah, I'm happy about that. They listened to my email.
Race distance then, Steve, over around Lusail. It's the usual, it's around 75 miles for MotoGP, it's around 65 to 70 miles for Moto2, and you're looking at around 60 miles for Moto3, and that translates to 22, 20 and 18 laps respectively.
Yeah.
The weather for the weekend, Steve, it's pretty much what you'd imagine. They're in a fucking desert. So I know we had rain there once, but that really was a freak. It's dry, it's hot, there's going to be a bit of wind, but nothing too exciting. No cloud cover at all on Sunday.
Nope.
But Friday, there will potentially be a lot of clouds, and that just makes it even hotter.
Yes, that is just going to bring that humidity right up. The only sort of weather condition that can affect these is the dew point. When it starts to get to the evening into the MotoGP race, we often see the shots, don't we? The cameraman will pan in on something. You just hit that dew point, which adds that little bit of moisture to the track.
Yeah, exactly. It's just as the temperature cools, the condensation builds just through basic, condensation is formed. I'm going to say basic thermodynamics. Maybe it's the wrong word, but we're going to roll with it.
We'll go with that.
And that can cause a problem. And we've seen in the past, haven't we, races, especially for the MotoGP race, the time has been moved forward or moved back, or they've been balancing out so that this point where the dew starts to form doesn't hit midway through the race. They kind of want it there. As long as they're either, they can start with that bit of moisture on the track, that's absolutely fine. And if they're on new tyres, it's fine. It's just if it comes when they're on worn tyres and they've been used to the track for a while, that's when it causes problems. So they move the times, juggle them about, and maybe we'll see the times juggled again this year, but maybe not. We'll see.
Maybe. We'll see what happens. I think come Friday, when they get an idea of what the weather's going to do, then they'll make their choice. But we'll see. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Jorge Lorenzo was always the one that would be complaining about that and getting the times moved all the time. You could reliably rely on Jorge Lorenzo to have good moan. Like, if he was good at something, and I mean, the man was an astounding motorcycle racer, obviously.
Oh, God, yeah.
But fuck, he was good at a moan. And I missed him for that, Steve.
I
miss Lorenzo a lot.
Yeah, I like someone who's willing to shout about what they believe in and just, not have, not be that person who go, oh, I don't want to do this. But then when faced with the music, crumbles like folds like origami. But, this guy really stood up for what he believed in. So, good on him. And I do miss him as well. I liked a good, angry Jorge.
Yeah, it's a bit sad without him, but it is what it is, Steve. He can't come back. He reached the end of his career. Everyone does at some point.
Exactly. We'll get another moaner. One will appear.
One will 100% appear, and if there's not one in this new crop of riders, I'd be quite upset. I don't know who it's going to be yet, But
No,
I think Ralph Fernandez is going to be a bit stroppy, and I'm quite looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, I think he might be a little bit stroppy, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Right, Steve. Now we've reached that point in the show where we make our predictions.
Oh dear.
I've got mine written down, and I'm happy to give you a couple of moments to think of yours while I reel my predictions off here, Steve.
I've got mine already. You go.
You know yours already. Fair enough. In that case, mine are written down. I'm going to go with them. I'm going Bagnaia for the win. I think Quartararo second, and I can see Marc Marquez just pipping it onto the podium in third.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going. And I mean, I wanted in my fantasy league, I really tried in my fantasy squad, tried to get Bagnaia, Quartararo, Marquez, and Mir, and they all just about fit, except you then didn't have any money left to put a manufacturer or a constructor in there. So I was like, oh shit, that's annoying.
Yes. Yeah. I did virtually the same. I went. I had to really. I started with a very, very cheap rider, and then built what I had left from there. So I got roughly who I wanted. Okay. I just haven't now got a lot.
Way of doing it, actually.
Yeah. See, so Darren Binder, do some good.
Nice.
Only because you're at the bottom of the pile, son. But yeah, you're in.
Go on then, Steve. Predictions for the race. Who are you saying?
For the race, Quartararo, Marquez, Bagnaia.
Oh, so the same podium, but in a different order to me. Quartararo. I assume we're talking one Marc Marquez and not Alex.
Yeah, big brother.
Okay, that's fine. That's why I deliberately put the M in front of mine, because I was like, at some point this year, I could just put a podium that reads Espargaro, Binder, and Marquez, and I've got a really good shot of one of those guys getting on the podium at that point.
Yeah, we're going to have to specify, I'm sure, at some point this year, whether it's a Marquez or Marquez.
Yeah, exactly.
So that time will come. But yeah, that's my prediction.
Yeah, mine's in there too. So, and obviously, we will recap those predictions in the next show, Steve, because that's how the predictions work. That way, we get to laugh at ourselves. But you know, if we're both wrong here, Steve, then, well, if one of us is wrong, we're both wrong, pretty much. So, you know, we're either laughing at each other or we're celebrating with a champagne. We'll see.
Exactly.
We've spoken about the Fantasy League briefly, Steve. It's now, we've just mentioned about our squads and stuff. I've gone full Ducati in my squad. It was the way I decided to do it. I've gone Bagnaia, Martin, and then the two VR46 guys, as well as the Ducati constructor. I've gone all in on the Reds for Qatar. Yeah. I
actually can't remember who I put in top now. I'm just going to load it up. Shouldn't take me a sec. I remember I put Darren Binder in because I needed someone cheap because I spent a lot of money elsewhere. So talk amongst yourselves while my phone was being very, very slow, which is very annoying.
That's fine. Well, while you're doing that, Steve, I can let people know that obviously the Fantasy League is back up and running now. The MotoGP have set it up. It's ready to go. The For the Love of MotoGP League is in there now. If you're in the Facebook group, I posted it in earlier with the links. You may have already seen that. If you're not in the Facebook group, why? But that's your choice. You don't have to be. That's fine. The links are also going to be in the show notes, along with a code that you may or may not need. I'm not really sure how the code works. There are there's other fantasy leagues on MotoGP.com. Hudson Kai Cooper, who is riding in the road to MotoGP at the moment, his parent or guardian, often sends things into the podcast. He has got a fantasy league running there too. That's also in the Facebook group, so you can go and find that. And there's small prizes in that one too. We are going to be doing prizes again for ours, Steve. We've not really established what they are yet, but we will be doing them. And I have the first T-shirt from
we do, mate. Yes,
the prizes. It's on my dining room table now. So the first T-shirt, Craig, your T-shirt's here. It's getting ready to be shipped. The others should be with me, hopefully soon.
They'll be turning up shortly. We actually now have 19 people in the league already.
Oh, nice. Okay,
so growing nicely.
That's still more than we did in our first year of doing that league, Steve.
Yes, yeah. I recognise some of the names, like you said earlier. We've got, I assume this is the same person last year, Quokka Splat Roadkill.
Oh, were they in last year? I don't remember that one.
They weren't in last year, but
okay.
The first word of the name. I'm trying to think what it was last year. Quokka's Revenge.
Oh, Quokka's Revenge, yes.
Yes. So Quokka.
Oh, so this is
Roadkill.
Quokka's Black Roadkill. Well, I'll assume that's the same person. I assume from Australia.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so yes, so that's all up and running. But Steve, who have you got in your squad? Who is ready to go for Team Steve or Melted Rubber? I assume you are again.
I am Melted Rubber again. Yes.
Yeah.
I've gone full Ducati like you for the Gold Riders anyway. So I've got Pecco, Jorge Martin, and Ducati as the manufacturer. And then it gets a little bit interesting. I put a lot of faith in Aleix last year. I'm putting a lot of faith in Aleix this year. So
I
he's
think that's
in there.
a good bet, man.
Yeah, he did some good stuff last year. So he's in next to Mr. Darren Binder.
Oof, it's a bold move to put Darren in there, my friend. Have you got any money left over?
No, not a penny.
Nice. Okay, so you have got the maximum value out of your points so far.
I have. I could have gone for someone else, but I really wanted to do Ducati boys and Aleix. So yeah,
especially coming into Qatar, the Ducatis make a lot of sense.
Yeah, there could be a lot of points to have there. So yeah, that's my one.
Nicely done. Right, Steve, that pretty much brings us to the end of the show.
That's pretty much it, mate. That pretty much is it.
That is pretty much it, guys. So, as we mentioned, guys, if you want to come and get involved in the Fantasy League, please do so. Like we say, there will be prizes up for grabs. Last year we did custom T-shirts. I say last year we did. They've not been sent out yet. But we have got custom T-shirts made for the winners of last year's. So, I don't know what we'll do. It might be the same this year. It might be something different. But it will be custom and fun, whatever it is. So, we will arrange something for prizes. And I imagine Steve and I are going to have to talk about it in the next couple of weeks. And we'll be announcing what those prizes will be.
Enzo did say he might paint a bike picture, so you never know. You might find one of those snuck in there.
That'd be great. Get him to sign it, just in case Enzo becomes some like super famous person in the future, artist or not, because you will be giving someone like a house essentially as a prize in the future.
Maybe.
So, yeah, that's great. I'll take a signed photo or picture for a painting from Enzo, just in case. Anyone that paints, I get a signed one just in case.
Oh, absolutely, mate. Always got to get
Consider
it signed,
an investment.
just in case. Yes, exactly. We like a good investment here.
Exactly that, my friend. Anyway, Steve, that's pretty much the end of the show.
That's pretty much that is a quick one.
It is a quick one today. So, guys, we are leaving your MotoGP taste buds craving more, as only the best MotoGP 4-play can. Getting you ready, warmed up, prepared for the weekend ahead of us all here. If you want to join us in the conversations that are bound to be had over the weekend, or you want to say anything at all to us, you want to get anything in for Correction Corner, we're available all over the internet, but specifically you can find us on...
We are For the Love of MotoGP, and you can find us on Instagram and Twitter, or like Tim says, come and join the Facebook page. It is great over there. We've had a lot of new people join. Conversation's just been on point. Everyone's starting to add their own stuff, talking amongst themselves. There's no bad eggs in there. Just come and join it, get involved. Or if you've got a correction corner or anything like that, you just want to get in touch, drop us an email. We are For the Love of MotoGP @gmail.com. Ha, George, there's another one.
There's Steve. So I've just watched you put another tally there on your tally chart.
That's it. I'm going to have to get a little counter. Yes, Steve 400, George 0.
Mate, the first week you get a counter, you're going to fuck it up every time.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to have like that. Yeah. But no, guys, seriously, come and get involved. Join the Facebook group. Come and get involved. Join the Fantasy League. Drop us a line. Get in touch. We love hearing from you all. We will always try and do our best to reply. Sometimes we're a little bit late, a little bit slack, but we will get back to you.
Yeah, that's it. And we've had a lot of nice messages from people recently. A lot of people messaging in to say, although factually we're not always correct, they do often agree with our opinions, which is quite nice. So, yeah, just surrounded by a lot of fun people that kind of just want to chat. And it's nice to chat to people. I'm always up for a chat.
Yeah, I'm always up for a good chat. One thing I did think about, Thibaut, we did this last year, but then we changed it. We had a little break on the Facebook group, didn't we, where we said no spoilers, but then we changed it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think maybe we just don't worry about spoilers.
Yeah,
I think if you've got a fear of being spoiled, you won't be on social media anyway. So I think it's probably okay just to. Yeah.
the second you log on to anywhere, it just jumps straight to the top of your feed. So yeah, just hammer into it. Go for it. Be warned, there will be spoilers. So it's down to you whether you look.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, I think we don't worry about spoilers. We'll just, whatever you want to share it, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Nice. Right, that's us, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Steve and I will be back in the room again together next week. But soon we're going to be long distance podcasting again, Steve, for the rest of the summer. So we're going to have to get used to this again. We're going to have to sort out some new equipment.
We sorted the in-house equipment. We now need to do the long-range stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But that's all good. We can cope with that.
We can sort that out.
Not a problem at all. So thank you all very much for listening, guys. We will speak to you next week when we will have a race to review. I cannot fucking wait.
It's going to be good. I can't wait. It's coming Sunday. Ooh.
It's coming indeed. That's it, guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the racing. Get involved in the social medias. Like, just have a blast. And as always, stay safe and look after each other. We'll speak to you next week, guys. Goodbye.
Take care, guys.
Music is by Andrew Greenwood. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.